This next item is going to cover how to add new stories and edit the existing stories on the timeline feature here. So to do that, you come to Timeline Stories and down to this cool Timeline Stories item. And that is going to give you a list of all of the items on the site, on the timeline. As with most of these post types, if you want to add a new item, you just come right up here and add new, and it will present you with a blank form. Otherwise, you can click into one of these items to edit the existing ones, which is how we're going to do this one. Here we are, the partners group is founded. Okay, so for this, the title up here is what fills in both this link here on the main timeline and the title in the pop-up box as well. The text field here is obviously for the text that shows up in the pop-up. Over here on the side, the R history is the only one we have set up. If at some point you create a second timeline, this is how you would differentiate what shows up on each one. If you check nothing, you could potentially build these out in advance and keep it from showing up on the timeline by just choosing nothing here. There are two image fields on here. The featured image is what's going to show up inside the pop-up here, and the custom image icon is what will show up here on the timeline itself. So if they're the same like they are on this one, you can just put the same image into both fields. If they need to be different from one another, then this is how you differentiate between those two. And then the only other thing is the year, which is controlled right here by this Add Custom label. If you're adding a new one, it might not be set to this. It might be on date-based. You'll just come right over here, click this Custom Order-based, put in the label, and then you'll choose the order that it appears in as well. So you'll need to be able to look at the full list and see where in the list you want it to show up. Yeah. That is all there is to it. Title, text, the timeline category here, the image, the secondary image, or here's the timeline image and the pop-up image, the date, and the order that you want it to show up in on the timeline. Thanks.